Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. Welcome back, folks. Today we are looking at what happens when people rush to the microphone, fueled by confidence, hashtags, and zero foresight. These are the moments when woke certainty lasts about 5 seconds before reality shows up uninvited. First up, a comedian calmly plays along while a woke activist confidently praises Venezuela like it's a success story.
Do you have hope eventually that we could have a system in America more like Venezuela?
Absolutely. That's what I fight for as a member of the Freedom Road Socialist Organization.
What are the most positive things Maduro has done?
A really big thing that we learned about while we were there is how much he has been instrumental in uplifting the women's struggle.
Would you say he's very feminist?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's some of the reason why people in this country are so afraid of communism, because they don't want to see women in charge.
Exactly, they don't want to.
What can we learn from Venezuela's system?
Venezuela's system is super inspiring. When I was there, I looked at visited multiple communes in Venezuela. The communes are how they are building socialist society. They're building the next step of society from within the current state, because they know that their existing, state is a capitalist state. So they're trying to build the new state from within it that is a people's state.
The more she talks, the more the illusion collapses. Buzzwords pile up, logic disappears, and reality never gets invited. He never argues or interrupts. He just lets her finish. Woke culture hates this moment because silence exposes the nonsense better than any debate ever could. Next, a woke activist tries pushing the white privilege script, fully expecting a nod and an apology.
Why don't you black? How come you don't believe white privilege exists? What you see?
I am black in color, but I don't have that dark mentality that most black people have.
Clearly.
I see, she said clearly, I see that white people have the same struggles and things that we have, in that
what type of
they have
struggles
to
do they
make their
have?
marriages work. They have to make their children, help their kids grow up in the right way so that they can earn a living and be independent.
But they also have the majority of their fathers at home.
Right, and the reason for that is starting to change somewhat now, but the reason for that is because they are taking responsibility for that, whereas black men and women are not taking responsibility for that, as they did prior to the civil rights movement. Black people are blaming it on their lack of self-control and self-containment. They're blaming it on white people, while white people are working hard to keep it going.
Instead, she gets calm logic and personal responsibility, served without raising a voice. The talking points fall apart fast, the interruptions stop, and the room goes quiet. Now, a paid protest regular throws out the classic billionaire boogeyman line, loud confidence, zero receipts.
How many protests have you been to so far?
I'm sorry?
How many protests have you been to so far this year?
How many presidents? Protests. At least half a dozen and more to come.
Do you have like a number you want to reach by the end of the year of how many you hope to go to?
No, it's just a point. It's a way to make a point. We, the people, do not agree with what Trump is doing. And one of the things he's doing is he is being bought.
Who's buying
big
him?
Name,
No, who's buying him?
All the billionaires basically are donating to him. Flat out said, send me $1 billion and you can do whatever
Did
you
you vote
want.
for Kamala Harris?
I did.
More billionaires funded her campaign than they did Trump.
Oh, you will never convince me of that.
It's just the truth.
Then a simple fact lands, calmly and clean. Suddenly the slogans freeze, the certainty vanishes, and denial takes over. Woke culture runs on feelings, not facts, and moments like this short-circuit the whole routine in real time. Coming up, we've got a protest sign warrior feeling real confident until one calm question hits.
Anyway, I would love to talk to you about your sign. What's it say?
It says, Isarnusis.
Yeah, what's that mean?
Well,
You can talk to me if you want. Do not listen to these women bossing you
they
around.
say that Trump's neck looks like a part of the female anatomy. So you put it together, okay? Take a look at my shirt. That's from Roland Martin.
You voted for the black woman. The black woman actually voted to put ICE into an operation and actually voted for them to become a thing.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, it's funny that the black woman actually voted for that.
Like I said, I'm not going to comment on it.
She was okay with it.
The slogan sounds clever in a crowd, but the second it needs explaining, panic sets in. Suddenly there's side help, deflection, and a quick retreat. Woke culture loves signs and chants, but hates facts that turn their own heroes into contradictions on camera. Now check this out. A straightforward question about men gets met with a verbal gymnastics routine.
Have you ever empathized or thought about how it feels to be a man and have the pressure of pursuing women and risking rejection?
Women face rejection every single day in the workplace. They get ridiculed for jobs if they're not wearing enough makeup or if they are wearing too much makeup. There are so many other things, and I think we need to just understand that everybody goes through their own levels of privilege and their own levels of discrimination too.
Empathy never shows up, but buzzwords do. The answer dodges, pivots, and lands on a totally different planet. Woke people treat listening like a threat, so they talk in circles until the point disappears, and everyone pretends that counts as depth. Here's a good one as a woke liberal comes in hot, tossing around the word diversity like it's a magic spell.
You shouldn't be here. Be on the sidewalk. And if it's diversity, you're against diversity. Can I get personal? Isn't like that's very diversified. You're a picture of diversity.
How so?
Look at you. Look at your makeup. You know, if you want everybody to look like you, is that what you're looking? Oh, smile. Oh, it isn't giggle time. It's serious what you're doing.
Well, you know what else is serious? That you want me to be removed from public property, but you're standing on the same
I'm not
street.
being obnoxious. Of course, I am being obnoxious.
Yeah,
but
you
I'm not carrying a sign with a camera.
Yeah, you know what happened?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk to you. Go
No,
away.
tell me.
Go away.
No, I'm not going to go away. You made a point to look at me and say, I'm not a supporter of yours. And then you want me to be removed from public property. Tell me what happened the last time someone tried to do that.
Obnoxious. Okay, you're obnoxious. Go be obnoxious someplace else. Please, go away. She's a picture of diversity, but she's against diversity.
Keep pointing to like all of me and like complimenting my makeup. I want you to do. Well, you like it when men dress like me, don't you?
One calm question later, and the mask slips, logic disappears, insults take over, and walking away becomes the exit plan. When the lecture turns personal and the logic runs out, walking away becomes the final argument. This time, a woke commentator fires off emotional claims, expecting applause instead of pushback.
Trump is putting his name on every single thing, and you want to normalize it like it's normal, tells me that you're the problem and not the solution. This man's mental acuity is off. He clearly is unstable.
Well, you guys were changing names of hospitals, parks, schools, streets, everything in the name of George Floyd. In fact, Wikipedia has an entire page called Lists of Name Changes Due to the George Floyd Protests. It is the longest Wikipedia page I've ever seen. I think it's really disingenuous, like they care so much about the Kennedy Center. I was there in 2023. The seats were stained. I literally sat down. I was like, is this wet? Is this fresh? The floors were dirty. So people who were running the Kennedy Center or who claimed to love and care about the Kennedy Center said nothing when it was falling into disrepair. And President Trump comes in, they are renovating. They are bringing people to come and see the arts for once. It was not that lively of an institution under the Biden administration. So don't pretend like you care about the Kennedy Center now when you were quiet when it was falling into disrepair.
Seconds later, facts line up and the outrage stalls. Sudden silence, no interruptions, no comeback. When receipts replace rhetoric, woke arguments lose their bite fast. Reality does not care about performative outrage or selective memory. Shortly after, obstruction turns into an unplanned van ride, complete with slapstick resistance and zero cooperation.
Police people are disabled, so I can go to the doctor up there. That's why I didn't Does this make you feel strong? Yeah, man!
This is what happens when you refuse to cooperate. ICE agents turn moving someone into an Olympic sport. She wiggles, they shuffle, and the van becomes the unexpected stage for the most chaotic dance of compliance ever recorded. Without missing a beat, an ICE agent removes a human roadblock by tossing him aside like a sack of potatoes with opinions. Here's a human roadblock demonstration gone wrong. The man refuses to move, ICE decides subtlety isn't working, and suddenly he's airborne like a prop in a slapstick sketch. Lesson: blocking federal agents rarely ends with applause. Predictably, a woman kicks an ICE agent, learns nothing from it, and still ends up handcuffed and van bound.
Wait! Don't you dare start kicking. No! Stop! Close! Lift your head up.
Here's a real-world example of resistance meeting reality. She kicks, ICE agents shrug, handcuff, and shunt her into the van like it's a game of extreme shuffleboard. Sometimes defiance is just really inefficient. This time, two woke answers compete to sound the most oppressed, but clarity never shows up.
Do you think that we should be focused in more on transgender women's voices now in the modern day society and, trying to uplift them more than other groups of women in the space? What are your thoughts?
Yes, in a way, because they do go through more. Trans women are oppressed and stuff. I think they deserve, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I think trans women of color should be uplifted the most just because they have the most oppression facing them.
And talk to me too a little bit about that. What are some of those oppressive things that they're facing?
It could just be like small, everyday microaggressions, or even as far as someone going and assaulting them on the street.
One person rambles, the other doubles down, and neither can explain the rule they want everyone else to follow. It is all feelings, labels, and vague fear stories. Woke people keeps talking until the question quietly wins. Up next is a protester who brought a bold sign but forgot the part where you actually know why you're mad.
What crimes have they committed?
Trump?
The ones in the Oval Office. What crimes have those people committed?
You want to look it up on Wikipedia? There's like a list.
Well, you made the sign, so I'm asking you.
I'm at a protest, though.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything. I'm here for my community.
Confidence stays high until details are requested, then suddenly vibes replace facts. Accountability gets shrugged off like an optional add-on. Nothing says conviction like outsourcing your own argument to Wikipedia and calling it community work. Now, a woke member throws out a feel-good talking point, clearly expecting applause and a quick mic drop.
Do you admit that this country would be nothing without our rich history of immigration?
Well, I tell you what, and this is what's gone wrong. Because you talk about immigration, and it ran from after the war up until the millennium at net 30 to 40,000 a year. And yes, it worked. In fact, we had the most successful immigration policies of any country in the whole of Europe, no question. Now, it is so totally out of control. Just think about this. 2.5 million people have come in the last 2 years. You wonder why you can't get a house. You wonder why your rents have gone up 25% in 4 years. You wonder why our infrastructure is struggling. You wonder why we have to build a new house every 2 minutes just to cope with the numbers. And that's the issue. It's now running at numbers that are literally unimaginable and are diminishing the quality of life of everybody in this country.
Instead, reality shows up with numbers, timelines, and consequences. The slogans vanish, the room goes quiet, and suddenly feelings are no match for facts. Woke confidence fades fast when math and real life enter the conversation. And then things escalate when one ICE agent gets assaulted 4 times and decides, you know what, everyone's invited to jail.
Shame on you!
This clip is what happens when peaceful protest repeatedly forgets the peaceful part. After multiple assaults, the ICE agent stops pretending this is a misunderstanding and starts making arrests like he's clearing a queue. Turns out violence is the fastest way to lose your protest badge. At this point, liberals begin a real-life game of Guess Who, harassing every semi-masculine white guy.
Where are you going? Huh? Are you ICE? No. Do you like ICE? Say ICE! Say it! Say it, bitch! You're a bitch! I'm a Say it! You! Nazi! Nazi! Nazi!
Apparently, the new identification test is vibes-based. If a guy looks vaguely masculine, white, and refuses to chant slogans on command, congratulations, you're undercover ICE now. No badge, no warrant, just pure suspicion powered by TikTok law school and misplaced confidence. In a stunning display of logic, a woman clings to the hood of a moving ICE vehicle screaming, "You will kill me," while actively refusing to let go.
No, please don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! I'm a person! I'm a person! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
This woman decides the best way to stop a vehicle is to become part of it, hanging off the hood, screaming, "You will kill me," while refusing to let go is a bold strategy. Ma'am, gravity is not on ICE's payroll. You chose this ride. Then comes the classic, where yelling and spitting in an agent's face results in the fastest arrest speed run of the day.
Get out of our Get out of here! Get out of our state! Guys, stop.
This is a classic example of escalation gone wrong. Yell, spit, get arrested. It's almost like federal law enforcement doesn't reward wet insults. Lesson learned, actions have consequences, and personal hygiene doesn't help here. Somehow worse, an illegal immigrant tries to run over an officer during an arrest, instantly upgrading the charges package.
Troopers, Texas police. Come out of the car. Come out of the car. Come out of the car. Open the window. No, he's in proceedings. He's good to go. Let me get my break. Lower the window.
Watch out behind you. Watch out. Holy. Watch out in front of you. Watch out in front.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Got a ram. Cut it off. Cut it off. Now. Cut it off. Turn off the car. Cut the car. Cut off. Come out of the car. Come out of the car. Come out. Now.
Behold the art of turning "don't resist arrest" into a high-speed suggestion. Driving through your problems rarely works, and ICE agents are here to politely but firmly remind you that creativity has limits. Back to Entitlement Theater, a woman completely loses it when ICE asks her to unlock her car after repeated non-compliance.
I need you to unlock the door. Okay, we already spoke about this, so I'm not doing anything to you.
Unlock the door.
I'm not doing. They wanna. I'm not gonna do it because I'm not doing nothing to you.
Yes,
like I'm a gay guy.
Oh man. Yep. Shouldn't have down, huh?
This clip is peak overreaction. ICE requests a simple action, and she responds like someone just suggested splitting the atom in her driveway. Spoiler, compliance is easier than a public tantrum. Coming up, a woke streamer lectures the internet about gender until one harmless pet question slips through the chat.
And automatically say, I know, I am doing something right now, child. Jesus. Upset with me, he's been knocking stuff over for the last...
Is cat girl or boy?
Stanley is a boy. And it's because of the action that was...
How do you know cat is boy?
I've had his balls nipped. You know what? Maybe, no.
Got him. We
The answer comes out honest, biological, and instantly disastrous for the narrative. Panic follows, backtracking begins, and the logic short circuits. Woke culture collapses fastest when it accidentally tells the truth without realizing it. Now, a woke activist tries playing the outrage card, framing disagreement as cruelty and hate.
I find that really frightening. I mean, why would you say someone was mentally ill because they feel they were born in the wrong body? I mean, does that give you pleasure or joy to just stamp down on someone's personhood? What's the intent here?
Do you value truth? Because
of course I value
here's what,
truth, yeah.
Good, then here's what's true. What's true is that if you're a man, you can't be a woman. And if you're a woman, you can't be a man. That's what's true. Your attempt to gaslight everybody into the opposition of this truth builds resentment. And it's that resentment that you have to deal with. And it's you have done it to yourself. Like most of these things, the left does it to themselves. It's very obvious. People are not going to accept this. The trans agenda has stalled, and it's stalled out the LGBTQ agenda with it because you're trying to gaslight people into something which is obviously not true.
Then a calm question about truth flips the entire mood. No yelling, no insults, just plain statements that leave nowhere to hide. Woke culture depends on emotion to win, and moments like this expose how empty it sounds without it. Next up, we've got the voter ID panic routine in full swing.
If
you say you need an ID to vote, you will have unfair bias against those strata of society that don't tend to get IDs and don't want to deal with government.
You don't get an ID because you want to engage with government. You get an ID because you want to drive. You get an ID because you're 21 and you want to have your first drink. You need an ID to do so much in life. Should Americans be required to have ID to vote? Chris, yes or no?
No. I don't believe you want the government having even more control over who can vote and who can't.
It is the lie that they tell so that they can rig our elections by having a bunch of people who are not Americans coming in and voting.
One side treats an ID like an impossible obstacle, as if daily life runs on vibes alone. Then a simple list of facts lands and the argument freezes. Woke culture loves hypotheticals, but it falls apart fast when common sense shows up and asks for a straight answer. Here's a good one. A woke YouTuber starts labeling people and talking down like he's holding a lecture hall.
I would say that being a black conservative pretty much like categorically means you don't have much common sense, yeah.
Do you hate black conservatives?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I do love all people, but I hate black conservatives.
You think they should vote like the radical blacks who are voting for Democrats?
Absolutely.
So you're saying blacks don't have the common sense to make good decisions for themselves?
Black conservatives? Oh no. Because they have the gall of being conservative while having experienced what it means to be under the heel of a white supremacist state. Seems to me they're the ones who should have the greatest interest in voting against it.
How is it that when I was growing up, under the Jim Crow laws, on the plantation, that black people did better than they are today? They had families, they got married, abortion was unheard of, they bought land, they built businesses, they became professionals, they went to college, those that wanted to go. Why were blacks able to do better then than they are today?
Because white folk got more clever. I'll stop treating them like victims. I'll say, hey, you got to work hard, you got to overcome your status. At the same time, white folk got more clever.
Then real history shows up and the confidence starts slipping. Calm questions, lived experience, and suddenly the talking points sound hollow. Woke culture hates this because facts from real life ruin the script faster than any argument ever could. Now watch how this one plays out. A woke activist tries selling the usual moral panic, confident the script will carry the moment, but it doesn't.
You know what really drives a lot of attention and makes people flock to the church? When a bunch of homosexuals are cruising down the street in assless chaps and big gay pride parades simulating sucking each other's. I would say that socially, you guys have gone out of your way to make it easy for us. The transing the kids, everything you could possibly do to make it easy for guys like me to come in and be like, no more of that shit. We're done with that shit. And for the rest of the country to be like, yep, you're right. We are done with that shit. Enough of that shit. The president of the United States actually has to give a presidential order saying there's only two genders. You guys overplayed your hand. And no, it ain't breaking up families. What's breaking up families is all the whining and crying that you can't be an chap simulating acts in the middle of the street. That's your social perversion. There's nothing wrong with us doing something about that.
Instead, a blunt response cuts through the slogans and ends the fantasy. The confidence cracks, the interruption fails, and the message lands anyway. Woke culture talks loud until someone says what everyone else is thinking, then suddenly it wants the mic back. Next, this woke claim sounds bold right up until it meets a few follow-up questions.
I feel safe because I'm white. It's the only reason why I feel safe.
How would you feel safe just because you're white? You really think they're just targeting brown and black people?
It's obvious.
Can you tell me how it's obvious?
Well, I'd have to bring up the statistics, but statistics show that non-white people are more likely, I don't know what the percentage is, I can't tell you until I look it up, much more likely to be detained by the ICE.
Why is that?
Because...
Where are the illegal aliens mostly coming from?
I'm not saying they're illegal.
Why is ICE detaining mostly non-white people?
I don't know.
Because illegal aliens predominantly come from non-white countries.
No.
I'm actually exhausted right now. Illegal aliens are not American citizens.
What you're saying may be true.
Confidence turns into guesswork, then into silence. Facts stay steady while the argument starts wobbling. No shouting required. Turns out it's obvious is not a statistic. Once the questions get specific, the certainty disappears and the story changes fast. Here, politics doesn't go their way and the cameras catch total emotional freefall.
Senate race. It's not going to happen. Go, Kamala. Returning to the Senate.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't have to freak out right now. We don't even have to, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because recount the vote!
Guys, I just voted. And I chose family.
Let's end this reign of terror now.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
We're moving on. I'm moving on. We're moving on.
I love all of this. Let's do it. Let's do this.
Crying, chanting, shaky speeches, and dramatic vows to keep believing harder. Facts never show up, but feelings run the whole broadcast. They cannot handle losing quietly, so they perform a meltdown and call it courage. Not to be outdone, this woman unloads insults until ICE calmly asks if she's on medication.
And you take down the blacks and you get on video.
That's fine.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
Look at me. What training have you had regarding mania?
And you're good on your medication then? Are you
condescending and talking down to me now?
I'm not. I'm actually asking.
Oh, really?
Are you on a new medication at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay. Is there anything that's changed?
Who are you? Hastings?
I'm an officer of Portland Police. I'm an ECIT officer.
Oh, really? And you're really an expert on mental illness, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I'm not a psychiatrist or something.
No, you're not. And I'm the smartest person you have ever met. So get the down off of my... Did you go to college, Hastings?
Sure did.
You did? What'd you study?
Social sciences.
Oh, social science is great.
Psychology.
Oh, minor. You should know a little bit about it then, right?
And Jamie, every time I just try to have a normal conversation with you, it just goes right to insults.
Is that against the law? Is it against the law to insult a man in blue?
Can you understand how it's not a normal conversation?
You guys get called all the time.
Why we're concerned?
And you take down the blacks and you get on video.
That's false.
Have a good day, Jamie.
I want him arrested for physical assault, you face. Hastings. Oh, the little Hastings boy who got bullied. Or he's got a small...
This clip proves that yelling louder doesn't make your point stronger. She insults, screams, and tells ICE to leave, while the agents maintain poker faces. It's like watching a firework of chaos meet a wall of calm efficiency. Coming up, a woke protester shows up masked and ready to scold authority, convinced he's standing on moral high ground.
What is your number one issue with Turning Point?
I don't have any comment on the issue.
Oh, so you're not protesting?
I'm just here supporting them as a volunteer.
Are you sick because you have a mask on? Are you sick or anything?
No, but I work in healthcare.
Do you support ICE agents covering their face?
No, I do not.
Why not?
If they're legitimately law enforcement officers, you'll notice the Phoenix PD doesn't cover their face. So why do they have to cover theirs?
They're not ICE agents.
Oh, so there's a difference.
There is a difference, yeah. So ICE agents and ICE officers are under different jurisdiction because assaults and violence against them has gone up 1,000%. Why is violence going up against them?
Yeah.
Because I think leftists lie about what they're doing and they want to hurt them and they want to hurt their families. Why are you hiding your face?
Protecting my face because I work in healthcare.
So what's the correlation? You don't want to be doxxed, do you?
No comment.
Right? Isn't that it? That's what ICE agents are doing. They don't want to be doxxed, just like you don't want to be doxxed.
The confidence lasts right up until the mask becomes the topic. Suddenly it's healthcare, privacy, and no comment. When the same rule gets applied back to him, the speech ends, the answers stop, and the walk-off says everything. In this next clip, activists show up ready to chant and posture. Convinced volume equals virtue.
And I can assure you that my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old daughters will not change in front of biological men. This is ridiculous. I don't care what party you are a part of. If you think that we are all equal and the same biologically, you've literally lost your mind. And when my 2 daughters work hard in the sport, work hard in their craft to be the best that they can be amongst other women, they will compete against other women. I owe Victoria and Olivia and every other young lady in this country that. If you think I'm wrong, I am not the problem. I can assure you.
Then a father starts talking about his young daughters, locker rooms, and fairness in sports. The message lands hard because it is clear. Woke culture depends on confusion, and moments like this cut right through the noise. Here, we've got an old lady who rolls in loud and confident, armed with cardboard signs and moral outrage.
Boycott Home Depot. Stop allowing ICE to hunt humans on your property. Are you familiar with the hired militia that they have in Iraq? Go around hurting people to keep the peace. They have guns. That's not a vocation. Anybody can do it.
I support what ICE is doing, and I think Donald Trump is doing a good job trying to solve the border crisis. I think single-handedly he has solved it, and I think that people who come across our border illegally, they should not be here. They have committed a crime, a misdemeanor of coming over illegally.
Jane, I'm done talking to you. Would someone please call 911? Back up. You're in my
Don't
space.
touch my stuff.
You're in
Do
my
not touch
space.
my stuff.
Get away from me now.
You're on a public
Get away
sidewalk.
from-
You guys are acting like dictators out here.
Away from me before I punch you.
She's on the phone with the police right now. It's just so funny. We don't allow ICE agents to come on Home Depot, but you want the police to come on a public street to what, arrest me?
Then a calm response lands and the whole act spirals. Pointing, shouting, threats, and a sudden call for police protection. The same crowd chanting against enforcement ends up begging for it when the script stops going their way. In this next clip, a couple attempts amateur psychology, asking if the agent had anger issues as a child.
I don't care what they told you. If you guys get in my way, I will arrest you.
Sir, we're just observing. Please calm down.
You can observe all you want.
I am observing. Do you
Stay
see
back.
me in the way? I am back.
You had anger issues as a kid, didn't you? Were your parents present? You should be ashamed of yourself, man.
He is.
I love my job, thank you.
You love your job?
I can't believe I get paid for this.
Really?
I do this for free.
Really, I get $200K. I'm a physician assistant.
How long did you go to school for that?
Over 7 years.
I went to high school, and I make $200K.
Here's a couple who apparently skipped how to argue effectively class. Instead of facts, they go straight to childhood therapy sessions, asking if the agent had anger issues. The agent, calm, collected, and loves his job. Sometimes professionalism is just another level of trolling. Moments later, a man discovers that yelling at armed federal agents is not, in fact, a protected fighting style.
You're one of us, just willing to throw the rest under the bus. 401k will fill f***ing hole in your life. Nothing will ever make you feel like a human being again, ever.
Open your eyes.
Keep moving. Move your arms. Come on, put your back. I know. Put your back. You're good, we got you. You're good.
Some people debate, some people yell, some people get a literal spray of reality. This guy's protest style is very immersive. Lesson learned. Escalating volume often meets escalating deterrence.
Your sign says fight fascism. What is fascism?
Fascism is the breakdown of a society.
Can you give me a definition?
I don't really know if I have to give you a definition because I know I feel violated against my government.
But what are you fighting when you say fight fascism?
I'm fighting for how I feel, for others.
Specifically, do you feel?
Can you not hear it in my voice?
Are you gonna cry? Because I asked you to define a term on your sign.
I really don't need to speak to you.
And go turn that sign around. It actually says fascism. It's actually not even spelled right. So you're holding a sign that you didn't even make? You gotta spell check things before you hold them up, sister. That says fascism.
I'm sorry.
What is fascism, actually? You know what? You don't even have to define fascism because that's not what you're talking about.
The confidence evaporates instantly. No definition, no clarity, just feelings, nerves, and a misspelled sign doing most of the talking. The other side barely has to push. Woke culture falls apart when asked to explain itself out loud. Next up is a woke student who starts strong, tossing out polished talking points like they came straight from a campus flyer.
So if you can identify with a different gender, why can't you identify with a different race?
The biological side of it, because race has no biological connections whatsoever. It's purely based off of physical appearances.
I just asked you if it was biological. You said yes.
Is recognized off of skin color. If you weren't on skin color your whole life.
Right, because it's biological.
Or I mean, sex has biological backings, but gender is not. Gender is a spectrum.
One simple follow-up and the whole argument starts eating itself. Biology matters, except when it doesn't. Definitions change mid-sentence. Confidence fades fast. Woke logic always collapses the moment it has to stay consistent. Now, here's a panel that leans on titles and credentials, hoping that shuts the conversation down.
Just curious of your definition. If you feel like
people are adults at 16.
No, people are adults at 18, but actually your brain is not fully developed until you're 25. So we should be having a conversation about whether we should even be doing these surgeries to people at 18. But certainly before 18, it's absurd. I mean, do you think that a 16-year-old can meaningfully consent to having their body parts removed? Do you? No?
We do not. Yeah, we ask the questions. It's not.
Can you give us a summary of your educational background? I'm just curious. You've testified as to a lot of your own research, so I'm curious for what purpose you do that and what background you have to qualify you to speak to that.
Well, my background that qualifies me to speak to this is that I'm a human being with a brain and I have a soul. And so therefore I think it's a really bad idea to chemically castrate children. That is my experience.
It backfires instantly. A simple question about consent hangs in the air, unanswered. Suddenly, no one wants to respond. When woke arguments hit real-life decisions, the confidence disappears, and common sense wins without raising its voice. This time, a woke activist starts off confident, convinced identity is whatever feels right that day.
Someone says, I'm now a woman, what does that mean that they are?
I don't know how to answer that.
Are you guys women?
I'm whatever I want to be.
Right, but are you a woman?
Not necessarily.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are you?
They, them.
Okay, so you're neither male or female.
I don't know what I identify as anymore.
Okay, so what have you identified as in the past?
She, her.
Would that be a woman?
Yes.
Okay, so you are a woman.
Sure.
Okay, well, I guess you identify as a woman.
I don't want to answer this anymore.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Bye. See you later.
A few calm questions later, that confidence starts evaporating, the certainty fades, positions shift, and the energy drops fast. What began as bold self-assurance turns into visible hesitation. When clarity is required, the moment suddenly feels optional, and walking away becomes the exit plan. First up, we have a masterclass in self-destruction, as this woman tries to arrest herself by repeatedly headbutting the hood like it owes her money.
Oh my god, dude, what the You're cooked, my boy. You're cooked. He's gonna start kicking too.
What you're seeing here is not police brutality, it's self-directed chaos. ICE is calmly doing an arrest, and this woman decides the hood of the car is her personal stress ball. Sir, that hood did nothing to deserve this level of unhinged performance art. Next, watch what happens when doxing federal agents and tipping off illegal immigrants meet the consequences.
He's smashing her window.
This clip is a perfect example of speedrunning consequences. The protester thought tipping off illegal immigrants and exposing agents online was some kind of heroic side quest. Unfortunately, the game rules are federal law, and the penalty is an all-expenses-paid ride to custody. Moving right along, here's the moment where refusing to move turns into discovering why pepper spray comes with instructions.
Good for you. Don't move.
Put your hands in your pocket. Put your hands in your pocket.
You gotta move. I don't post.
This woman decided standing my ground was a personality trait right in the middle of an active operation. ICE asked her to move. She declined, and pepper spray politely joined the conversation. Turns out sidewalks are not sovereign territory, and consequences don't negotiate. Meanwhile, this business owner plays distraction roulette long enough for an illegal immigrant to escape, but not long enough to avoid consequences.
Excuse me, I have on my business that you guys.
We're not inside there.
Even though.
Here we have a business owner who mistook federal agents for door-to-door salesmen. She tries to order ICE off her property, creates just enough chaos, and boom, the illegal immigrant slips away. Congratulations, ma'am. You didn't stop enforcement, you just upgraded your involvement. This time, it's a woke student confidently explaining identity until one honest reason slips out.
To
refusing to call me he.
You want me to actively call you a boy and call you he. I'm not gonna do it. When did you decide that you were not a girl?
Probably when I was like younger, like.
So what is it about a man that you're like, I want to be a man? So I know like you're like, I don't, about being a girl, it's like, I just don't want to be a girl. Okay, well let's go to what you want to be instead of focusing on the negatives, be the positives. Why do you want to be a man?
There's a lot more privilege to being a man.
So it's like a selfish thing. You're like, I want to be, okay, all right.
Also, like, I just am more comfortable as a boy with the way society views as boys, like all that other stuff. If I look at the way I was treated as a girl versus how I get treated now as like a boy, it's completely different. Things like simple stuff when girls say like, oh, I want to work on this, or they're like, well, no, you're a girl, you can't be doing that. Or like even like simple stuff is like women can't be doctors, even though they technically can. But like if you look at like children's toys and whatnot, it's like, okay, well the man's like, oh, they're doing all this cool stuff, and the girl's like, okay.
The talk starts emotional and righteous, then privilege gets admitted out loud. Laughter follows, excuses pile up, and the explanation spirals. Big speeches sound convincing, but the moment motivation gets questioned, the mask drops, and the logic falls apart fast. Up next, a smooth, self-assured lecture that holds strong until it doesn't.
Shut the f*** up. That is hilarious.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
One short sentence drops, and the room freezes. No shouting, no follow-up, just instant regret hanging in the air. Long performances work when no one interrupts, but a blunt truth cuts straight through and everything collapses. And finally, here's a confident definition delivered with airtight certainty. A basic rule of language steps in and everything grinds to a halt.
Okay, let's watch this because it's so funny.
I think that a woman is anyone who identifies as a woman.
You can't use the word that you're defining in the definition.
Why not?
If the definition of a woman is a woman, do you understand how we still don't know what a woman is?
It's possible.
Silence hits, eyes blink, and the confidence drains fast. Repeating slogans carries momentum, but the moment simple logic shows up, the entire argument folds in on itself. Here's a good one as a woke student teacher walks in, grading presidents like it's final exams week.
If you could rate Trump's job so far, what grade would you give him? A through F?
I'm gonna give him a F minus. He's just not doing things correctly. People like me with disabilities that can't afford to eat.
So, but you are here at USF, right?
Yes. I'm a student here.
So how can you afford to go to school, but you can't afford like turkey and maybe a box of stuffing?
I am pulling out loans out of the wazoo.
Where are you a substitute teacher at?
Pasco County.
Have you heard about the school in Portland that's right next to the federal ICE facility that had to get shut down and move? Do you think that if they were peaceful protests, why would an entire elementary school have to shut down and move locations because it was unsafe for the students to go to school there?
Because of the ICE and how the police are running.
So it's the ICE agents' fault. It's not the Antifa members' faults that are throwing Molotov cocktails and threatening to shoot ICE agents. It's not their fault.
If it's people like those are the very minor outliers.
Then the questions turn practical about money, school, work, and responsibility. The confidence starts slipping. Every answer dodges just a little more until shrugging replaces explanations. Turns out handing out grades is easy. Explaining your own situation is where the lesson plan falls apart. And finally, we've got a woke heckler who thought insults were a substitute for substance.
I have a habit of embarrassing people online. Oh, I just wanted to ask you what you ate to yourself so badly at that frat party.
Taco Bell. What did you eat to get this figure?
Damn, girl. I hope you have a great day harassing students.
No, if you are so much smarter than me, why don't you stand up for what you believe in?
Because I know that you're a liar and I know that you put things on the internet to make people look stupid.
Are you afraid you'll look stupid?
No, I'm afraid that you'll look stupid.
Then prove me wrong. Make me look stupid. Own me in a debate. Let's see.
You're literally harassing students. You need to leave students alone.
Yeah.
Do not follow students when they walk away from you.
We're just walking together. You're filming me. I'm filming you. We're just kind of chit-chatting. Look really nervous. You had no trouble when students were standing alongside you to try and heckle me, try to, lie about me and make fun of me. The second I ask you for a conversation, you can't stand up for yourself.
The swagger lasts exactly until the energy gets returned. Suddenly the jokes stop landing, confidence drops, and the exit plan kicks in. Nothing exposes performative outrage faster than being asked to stand behind it without a script or a crowd. Here comes another classic. A confident activist answers a simple question with a lecture full of theory and vibes.
Can men have babies?
Yes, men can have babies because not every man is male and not every woman's female.
What would you say to all the people that say, no, men can't have babies?
I'd say that they need to study kind of the difference between gender and sexuality. Obviously, gender's more of a construct. I'm a male, but I don't consider myself a man necessarily.
The logic sounds bold until it actually leaves their mouth. Words start tripping over themselves, definitions melt, and reality taps out. Woke culture loves redefining everything, but the moment common sense shows up, the whole script collapses on contact. Up next is a woke couple confidently explaining how men and women are basically the same, until one simple comparison ruins the speech.
There's no really big, difference between the two.
There's no difference between the men and women.
There is a difference, but it's not such a difference.
Can you pan to Dave? You think there's not really a big difference between me and Dave over there?
I mean, there is a difference, but I don't think it's as much as people are led to believe.
I'll admit, yes, there is a difference. Yes, absolutely. But I feel like they overly exaggerate it to such a degree in order to foster a sense of fear and concern is nowhere near that level. There's hardly any trans athletes as it is, and yet they make them public enemy number one.
Yeah, so you guys are in a relationship, and you're a boy, and you're a boy, so would you say that you're gay then?
Yes.
Were you born a female then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I appreciate your time and explaining all that to me.
The talking points start wobbling, labels get tangled, and definitions shift mid-sentence. No shouting, no insults, just calm questions. Woke culture falls apart when reality stands right next to the theory and refuses to play along. Now for this one, a woke student tries rewriting free speech on live TV, thinking confidence beats facts.
Can we use Charlie Kirk as an example?
Yes.
Do you think that Charlie Kirk stood for free speech?
Absolutely.
You do?
Oh my God.
Really? How? Well, tell me about that.
Charlie Kirk was the absolute personification of defending free speech.
Oh, really?
Let me explain why.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk had strong views about a lot of things, many of which you probably don't agree with, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But Charlie Kirk, week after week, around America, would go onto university campuses knowing that most people there didn't agree with him, may have a preconceived view about him, maybe thought he was a fascist and all the other things they called him. And he would sit there in his tent, sometimes outside as he was when he was appallingly assassinated, and he would say, prove me wrong. And people would line up and they'd come and have a debate like this, and he would listen to them respectfully. He'd challenge them.
No.
He'd argue with them.
That's not what happened.
Sorry, that's exactly what Charlie Kirk did.
Okay, as somebody that...
And for that, he got a bullet.
Then a calm explanation shows up, and the narrative starts slipping. Interruptions follow, denial kicks in, and reality refuses to budge. Woke culture only supports speech it agrees with, and moments like this expose how fast principles vanish when challenged out loud. Here we have another confidence crash. A woke thinker starts redefining masculinity with polished phrases and an academic tone.
And need to learn how to be respectful to not only themselves and their masculinity, they need to rethink what masculinity actually means.
It is masculinity.
Masculinity to me is more of a construct than a physicality.
Is it made up, you think?
Gender really is a social construct in itself, so therefore masculinity and femininity are just followed by those constructs.
My dad actually left my mom for our au pair in Hong Kong.
Right.
When I was dating a Chinese girl, he said Chinese is the last stop on the road to gay.
Oh.
Then history shows up and shuts it down hard. One calm explanation turns into a standing ovation while the outrage gets drowned out by applause. Woke culture hates this because lived experience beats smug lecturing every single time. As the chaos continues, ICE agents carry a screaming woman to the van like an uncooperative piece of luggage.
Move my car! Ah! I am disabled! I have a brain injury!
Stay back.
I am autistic and I have a brain injury! Put me down! I was just trying to get to the doctor and I'm autistic! It takes me a...
This clip proves the law of physics applies even to protest intensity. Screaming at ICE agents while being carried only amplifies the soundtrack, doesn't affect the destination, the van. Still the final boss. No surprises here, a man gets handcuffed and shoved to the ground after making every wrong decision in the correct order.
Pathetic. I hope a good one you up next. Back up! Back up! Back up! That's the back up! No, we are. This is our amendment right. He does not need to be tackled like that. Police, he is a veteran of this country. Of this guy. I'm a serious. He is a veteran of this country.
bunch of adventurous. He's done more for this country than any of you.
Behold the fine art of ground-level compliance. He thought standing his ground was a good idea, but ICE thought otherwise, giving him a hands-on demonstration that the floor is mandatory. And finally, a police officer explains the quiet part out loud. Most protesters don't even know what they're protesting, even when the arrest involves rapists or murderers.
I watched y'all.
There's all these ear-piercing whistles going on around us right now. What are these people blowing those whistles for?
Oh, it's interesting you ask that, Matt. Oftentimes these individuals have no reason, or they have no clue why we are in an area. We could arrest, again, a child molester or a child rapist or a murderer, illegal alien, and they don't seem to care. They don't agree with that for some odd reason, and it seems that they protest or agitate, and they don't know why they're doing that.
Here's a cop doing the unthinkable, telling the truth. Apparently, some protesters are all energy, no context, yelling about injustice while ICE is busy arresting actual criminals. Sometimes enthusiasm outruns awareness, by a lot. And that's a wrap on today's lesson in how not to protest ICE. If you enjoyed watching chaos meet consequences, hit that like button, subscribe for more unfiltered mayhem, and comment below what's the wildest protest fail you've ever seen.